Now it has been coming a long time and it is finally here. Yes, we are standing with the new Honda City Hybrid. Now before you say that this car looks exactly the same like other Honda Cities on the road, well, there has been a lot going on under the hood. Honda claims that this is powered by world's best hybrid technology, which also makes it the most fuel efficient vehicle in its segment. Now what all is going under the hood, how fuel efficient the Honda City Hybrid really is, stay tuned for the next few minutes as we explain everything that has changed with the City Hybrid. So make sure that you watch this video till the end and we will make sure that we will tell you all about this new Honda City Hybrid. Now we have been expecting Honda to launch the City RS with the hybrid version, however they haven't done that. Instead, they have added bits and pieces from the City RS which is available in the international market to make the City Hybrid look sportier. What are these changes? Well, if you look at the mesh grille below the chrome slat, it has changed. The slat, it remains the same. If you look at the fog lamps, the housings have changed, so it now gets a nice claw type fog lamps which really do sportier. But that's about the changes you get in the front. Coming to the side, the profile remains exactly the same. You still get the 16-inch dual tone alloy wheels. Overall, the City looks very nice. It looks very premium and you get a lot of chrome parts as well. So you get the chrome door handles and this is a dual tone ORVM. Now coming to the rear of the car, you will see a couple of changes as well. So Honda has added a new diffuser with carbon black finish and it looks very sporty and premium, and there is a new lip spoiler on the boot which again adds the sporty finish. Now the Honda City, it largely remains the same to the standard City version. However, these bits and changes, it definitely adds a niche touch and it will make the City Hybrid look very different on the roads. Now let's quickly jump inside the car and check out what is different in the City Hybrid. Now dimension wise, the Honda City Hybrid remains the same, which means the space inside should have remained the same, right? But since Honda has added battery packs which lies under the boot, it has eaten up to about 200 liters of boot space. So in the regular Honda City, you get around 506 liters of boot space. With this, you get around 300. However, it still remains a very large boot, and as you can see, we have these bags packed right into the boot and there was still space for little more luggage. So if you are going on a weekend trip, you will not run out of the space. Apart from that, Honda hasn't really compromised with the space. If you lift this flap, you will be able to see a space saver spare tire, and actually there is a lot of space underneath, so you can keep your extra luggage or small bags underneath this flap as well. So that's about it for the boot. Let's jump inside and see what the new City offers. Now sitting inside the Honda City Hybrid, you will find it up to be very familiar with the regular Honda City. However, Honda has done subtle changes which makes it look very different. For example, there is no manual handbrake in this car. Instead, Honda has added this electronic parking brake, and there is one more button which is called brake hold. You can use this button to stand in the traffic. So whenever you are stuck in the traffic, you can push this brake hold button, leave the accelerator and the brake and keep your feet free. You can also use this on the inclines as a hill hold control. Apart from that, in front of me lies a similar steering wheel. However, it gets some additional buttons and also the paddle shifters, which I will explain later in the video. The extra buttons, they are for Honda sensing, which also I will explain later in the video. Right in front of me lies a hybrid instrument cluster. There is an analog speedometer and a 7-inch digital display which shows a hell lot of information in this car. You get to see information like where the power is going, when the battery is charging, the fuel economy, and it is also customizable. So whatever you like to see on your screen, you can customize to get exactly that. Now right beside that, you get the same old 8-inch touchscreen system. It gets connectivity systems like the Android Auto and also the Apple CarPlay. It can be controlled from the Alexa assistant like before. Also, Honda has now added the Google Voice Assistant, so you can control the system through all those home devices. Just below that, you get space to keep your phone. There is no wireless charger in this car yet. There are two USB type A sockets. There is a 12-volt charging outlet. Below that, you get a small space to keep your knickknacks, two cup holders, and the new transmission. This I have already explained. Now, since there is no manual handbrake here, it frees up the space to keep your extra phones. You get some space under this armrest. This is not adjustable. Apart from that, everything else remains the same in this car. Above me there lies an electric sunroof. There are all LED cabin lights, as you can see, and a very useful auto dimming mirror. Now the space in the rear, it remains the same. There are no changes to that. Instead of extra batteries that lies in the boot, you still get the AC vents that can be controlled, and there are two power socket outlets as well. Honda has added this vent on the right hand side of the seats, which is used to cool the batteries. Yes, the same batteries that drive the car. Now Honda is yet to reveal the exact power output, the combined power output that comes from the engine and the electric motor. However, the combined torque output stands at 253 Nm, which is quite much for a car of this segment. Now, while driving the car, you do not feel outright acceleration like you do in the electric vehicles. However, it remains pretty fast. Honda claims that it can do 0 to 100 under 10 seconds, which is a very good figure. Apart from that, when it comes to the handling, it remains the same. However, since there are now battery packs lying in the boot, the center of gravity, it has gone down. So while taking corners at high speed, the stability has increased quite a bit much. Now, if you have driven the Honda City before, you already know that this car drives really well. Now with the lower center of gravity, this has become a notch up. Apart from that, the steering, it's very precise. It gives you a lot of feedback as well. The suspension is really well tuned. You do not feel any sharp jerks while going over the potholes, and you do really feel really comfortable while driving on the longer routes and as well as broken roads surfaces. So you really don't have to buy an SUV if you are not going anywhere apart from the tarmac roads. Now, as I said before, there is no conventional transmission in this car, so there is only one single ratio gearbox, and it works really well with the car. We haven't faced any issues. But there are two modes in this car. One is the regular drive mode, where the car will do all the regeneration settings. It will change from the hybrid to the engine and all of that. And then there is a B mode. So in the B mode, it's actually the braking mode. So you can set up the regenerative energy from the paddle shifters located right behind my steering wheel. So it's a pretty cool feature. What it does is, while you're driving on the highways or inside the city traffic, you can set up the levels of regeneration. What it does is, if you put it in the minimum, the regenerative forces will be minimum, and the battery charge will the rate of charging the batteries will be minimum. However, if you put it at the highest setting, you will slow down quicker without using the brakes, and it will put maximum power, maximum juice back to the battery that can be used later. So it's a pretty nifty technology. We have been driving the car in the B mode all through it, and we have been using the paddle shifters to control the deceleration of the car. And I must say that even though the new City Hybrid comes with rear disc brakes, we haven't been using them all well. So the regeneration system is very good. Now, since it's a very advanced hybrid technology, sometimes you might feel that when overtaking other vehicles, the engine speed, it rises up very quickly, and you will see that the speed doesn't matches on the road. So that is one thing that you might feel. However, it doesn't affect the driving at all. It may feel weird initially, however you will get used to it. Now the hybrid system, it works so well that we have come to a completely stopped and everything in the car is working apart from the engine as expected, including the AC compressor. So it is keeping the car cool even without using any kind of fuel from the engine. Now coming to the crawl mode, as soon as the traffic moves, I will show you that the crawl is also very strong. You don't have to use the accelerator at all, and since the car is standing little ahead of us, I will just show you right now. As you can see, it goes up to 5-6 kilometers on standstill traffic, from standstill traffic, so you really do not have to use the accelerator, and that's a very good thing if you're driving the car inside the city limits in a very crowded places. So I am not using the accelerator right now, and it is showing 6-7 kilometers, which in my opinion is very good in crawling traffic situations. The city hybrid is very fuel efficient. Honda claims it to be around 26.5 kilometers. We have been driving it on the highway and inside the city limits, as you have seen, and at high speeds, as well as we have been doing the acceleration test and everything, and according to the display it is showing 22.2 kmpl, which is extremely high for a car of this segment. Now Honda also provides a separate button for the econ mode or the economy mode. What it does is it reduces the sensitivity of the accelerator. So whenever you are in the eco mode, you will have to use the accelerator a little more. It will be more aggressive while accelerating, and that makes it even more fuel efficient. To tell you the truth, we haven't been using the eco mode at all because it's just more fun to drive in the regular mode. Now Honda has also added the Honda Sensing technology to it. What it is not ADAS, it is not autonomous technology, but it is something very unique. It is something which will help the drivers to be more safer on the road. For first time ever, Honda is offering driver assistance system in India. The system is called Honda Sensing, and the brand does not like to call it an autonomous driver assistance system or the ADAS. The Honda City eHEV will be the first ever car to offer the system in the Indian market. The Honda Sensing uses a high precision wide-angle camera to determine the obstacles and identify other objects like cars, pedestrians, and even animals on the road. With Honda Sensing, you get features like collision mitigation braking system, low speed braking control, adaptive cruise control system, lane keeping assist system, road departure mitigation system, pedestrian collision mitigation system, and also high beam assist. We drove the new Honda City Hybrid on the roads of Bangalore to test all the features. During our drive in the real world, the system worked perfectly, including the adaptive cruise control. Yes, you do get a lot of warnings while driving through the crowded city roads, but that's because the way we Indians drive. With the Honda Sensing, the car feels much more secure and much more convenient to drive, especially on the long journeys. The Honda City eHEV is a complicated hybrid system. It is not a mild hybrid system like we get in the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz. The eHEV system uses two electric motors in the Honda City eHEV. One of the electric motors works as a generator to charge the battery that are kept in the boot. The other motor works as a traction motor. This motor actually drives the wheels of the car. There is a 1.5 liter petrol engine that runs on a much more fuel efficient Atkinson cycle. The engine is mostly used to charge the battery pack and keep it juiced up. Another way to charge the battery pack is through the regenerative system that uses the energy from the wheels while the car is slowing down or when we use the brakes. It doesn't get conventional gearbox either. Instead, there is a fixed ratio gear that uses artificial steps to add the feeling of driving a regular car with a regular transmission. Now that is why Honda calls this eCVT. The car almost always runs on the battery pack. However, whenever the charge in the battery depletes, the engine kicks in to charge the battery. At times, the power control unit can also use the power solely generated by the engine to power the car. Also, the hybrid system can work in parallel hybrid and series hybrid configuration whenever needed. It is the most advanced hybrid system that we have seen in any mass segment car in India till now, and it happens very effortlessly, very smoothly. You do not even get to know when the change is happening. Now, Honda is yet to share the prices of the new City Hybrid. However, with all the technology that goes inside the car, we feel that it is going to be pretty expensive. Now, Honda says that they have received an overwhelming response. Without sharing the numbers, they have said that the waiting period is already into months. We feel that the Honda City Hybrid will only come in one variant. In the current situation, we feel that the Honda City Hybrid, or any hybrid for that matter, is much more practical, especially given the situation of the charging infrastructure throughout the country. Now, what do you feel about the new Honda City? Do let us know in the comment section. What do you think the price will be? And you share your thoughts on this car. Also share that what features it is missing. We feel that it is still missing out on a lot. And all we are waiting for is the price of the City, which will come really soon. So as always, do like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure that you press the subscribe button and also press the bell icon.